One, Tashina Gonzalez here, your favorite holistic wellness coach. And as usual, as you hop in, give me a wave, a hi, a hello. Let me know what city and state you are watching from. And if you are watching the replay, no matter what venue, here on Instagram, later on YouTube or Facebook, then hashtag replay. So I didn't do my Feel Good Friday yesterday, and a little bit apropos because I'm coming to you guys with another like heavy subject, talking about something emotional, talking about something that I needed to reflect on, work on, in the event that some of you may need to hear this information as well. So I was reminded of a story. For those of you that don't know, I ran track when I was in high school, and I cried only 2 times in track in my first year of track. First time I got like a boss up girl speech. The second time it was like rainy, it was cold. I did track in northern Michigan. So a lot of times in the beginning it would be like super cold still. I was in Traverse City, Michigan. And so like my hands were freezing and I just couldn't take it and started crying. And my coach said to me, Sheena, you can't start crying. You're the cheerleader. You're the one that like keeps everybody up and motivated. If you start crying, then other people know that there's a problem. And that really encapsulates the story of my life, being the big sister. You guys have heard me talk about, the emotional side of my wellness journey. I had a severely abusive childhood in every single way imaginable. And being the big sister, all the things with like, never let them see you cry, take care of yourself, take care of everybody else. The result of that is basically what I'm talking about here today. So I saw a quote. I saw somebody posted it and it sat with it for a while. I posted it in my stories recently. The ultra independence is a trauma response. And so I've talked a lot about self-care and trying to get to take better care of myself, and little things like making sure that you rest, making sure that you know how to say no, making sure that you ask for help. And really, all of those things are symptoms of this thing, this ultra independence that has developed as a result of a trauma response from, again, all of the severe abuse that I experienced as a child, and then creating these coping mechanisms and that being my personality, and then the rest of the world, always imputing that personality on me. So as usual, I found an article that went over some of the details of the why and if and what you should do if you're like me and this is something that you have to work at. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it definitely is true. When you guys, I've done Strength Finders, and my Strength Finder says that 3 of them, like focus and significance and achiever, they do say I have more energy than most people. I can work harder than most people. I do. When I'm talking about, my warrior princess personality and doing that stuff, all of that is true. And you want to be independent, but you want to make sure that you're not ultra independent and that you're not going overboard. And so my coping mechanism, my drug of choice has always been workaholism. And so making sure that you find that balance so that you don't burn yourself out, which I've done so many times. You have to be cognizant of this possibility of ultra independence and making sure that you have things to work on it. So again, from the article that I got, it starts out by saying we all look at independence as a strength. Like you see other people and you're like, oh, look how independent Tashina is. I wish I could be like her. She doesn't need anyone financially or emotionally. She's got everything all figured out. That's how we feel, right? And definitely it's true. The level of independence is important for all of us. But for individuals like me, again, that had severely abusive childhood, it can be a survival mechanism. So it can start to instill in us that you don't need anyone else. You can do everything yourself. And when you do actually need help, refuse to ask for it. So It comes a lot of times from trauma growing up. That's where it comes from for me. A household where you had to be a caregiver. So again, I'm the oldest in my family, so I felt like I always had to protect my younger brothers and sisters. While even though one of them was only 2.5 years younger than me, but I had to take care of them and protect them, even though I was going through a lot of the same abuse that they were. Or you watched and felt this abuse, and again, some of the abuse did come from my actual parents too. So then you grow up thinking, I'm never going to let anybody want to make me feel this way. The other thing that can happen is you can have grief of a failed love affair or an abusive relationship. You guys know that I've shared briefly. I also had an emotionally abusive spouse. And my ex was emotionally abusive. So then you start to develop this core, this wall, this shell of ultra independence, because you don't want to feel any of that type of hurt again. And even sometimes the grief of the death of a loved one can cause us to not allow anyone into our lives because the fear of them dying outweighs the joy of their company, and we would rather not rely on their love or friendship. So ultra independent people tend to be the rulers of their family and household. They run the show and take on all the responsibilities and decisions at home because they don't trust others to make the correct decisions. This results in far too much responsibility on one person that can cause one to be overwhelmed and unable to cope with the pressure anymore. And that happened at least twice in my life. I had ulcers when I was 23. And that's one of the things that I do. Like, I will not pay attention to when I'm getting sick, and I will just push through and I keep working. That's one of the things that I would do. And then I became really, really sick in 2012 as well. Ultra independent people also tend to take on codependent relationships. They will not ask for help. They feel that their independence allows them to fix everything and therefore can fix others. And it feels safer having someone need them than a person who will try to help them. Very, very interesting. A normal independent partner scares an ultra independent far more than having a codependent that allows them to keep their control. So, to an extent, ultra independency becomes codependency on ourselves. We beat ourselves up if we cannot fix a situation or do all the things we need done ourselves. So we become so hard on ourselves and expect to be superheroes all the time. Yeah, this is so me. This results in internal anger and disappointment, the same as we would get angry with someone in a codependent relationship. These emotions and demands on ourselves eventually lead to stress and burnout. So how do we stop this? The most important part, right? So trust. Don't give up on others. Trust that not everyone is going to let you down. There are people out there who truly want to help you and there to listen. Build relationships. And I mean, really build relationships, not distant friendships where you can tell them how great everything is, how busy you are, but where you actually talk. And this is something I've definitely been working on a lot, like making sure I have some really good relationships that were in the past, and I will reach out to those people when I'm like, I can't take it anymore. Or I will, I'm trying to be more open, not too open, because that can be, a trauma response too. Like, I don't want to throw up everything on people, but like, for instance, last Saturday, I experienced racial profiling and I was super upset and for the evening, and so I shared with a couple of my close friends. And then that night when we were hanging out, I was like, I'm done. I'm low energy. And they were like, what? Like, you're never low energy. Like, this isn't you, And so it was just like, but I told you guys what happened. I get to be low energy, right? Like, I get to not have my superpowers today. This is what I'm going through. And then a couple days ago, we had a death in the family. My stepmom's sister passed, and it was unexpected. So again, I was hanging out with my friends. I notified some of my friends, hey, this happened. I don't know how well I'm going to do. Like, I went to a poetry thing and I couldn't really turn my camera on because I was just too super emotional. So again, just accepting those emotions and communicating it and building the relationships through that clarity is something I've been working on. Give small tasks to others. So one of the things that I was having a hard time with in my business, like I hired some help because I obviously need to Still focus on my day job, but I want to grow my business, and there's certain things that have to be done, and I don't have so much time. I got to do my volunteer Bible preaching, and so I had intended to get a virtual assistant for some things, put that off. Finally got that done in the last 2 weeks. And my other virtual assistant, I needed to pass some stuff on to her, but I kept just hesitating because it's like I don't want to, give away the stuff. But I finally, it's like, yes, I have to give these tasks to other. I can't worry about if it doesn't get done perfectly. A couple times it hasn't, but then the world doesn't, nobody dies. The world is fine when it doesn't happen. Say no to, so learning how to say no is something I'm definitely working on. Ask for help. So again, I making sure I communicate to my friends. I might need some emotional support here, guys. Like this is where I am. Ask for help when I need to get other things done that I know I can't do. And then let go. So let go of what happened in the past. Work through the emotions you felt as a child, teenager, or in your adult life. Talk about them with the therapist to understand that's what you need. Allow yourself to let others into your life. Avoid codependent relationships. Look for partners that can manage fine on their own, and learn to allow relationships to share the load of life. And meditations and affirmations. I'm all about my meditation and affirmations. Like I wake up, do my deep breathing. I actually record my affirmations because I'm an audio learner. So I play my affirmations, do my prayer, read my scripture, do all that stuff. So super, super important to do that. So that is what I want to share with my friends out there today. Again, I was struggling the past couple of days with this sense of ultra independence and making sure that I find the balance of being my same strong, amazing, independent self, yet not getting to the point of being ultra independent. I was super blessed to have like things that happen in this period, that I've had a death in my family. Like you guys know, I got like all of these amazing essential oils for free delivered, and a lot of them are emotional based, and I'm getting to use them, so that's going to help me. And that came like a couple days before I knew about this death, and then I had already had scheduled to go to this salt palace place and experience that. But it was really funny because when I went to when she went to leave me in there, I'm sitting there. Oh, now I can catch up on social media on my phone. And she's like, sweetie, you're supposed to put your phone down. You're supposed to be quiet, be still. You're supposed to pray, meditate, do something. So I put my phone down and prayed for a while. And after like 5 minutes, I started crying. Because again, it was like within 24 hours of having a death of a family member. But my ultra independence always pushes me to the side of just work through it. Ignore your emotions. So that is what I want to share with you guys today. These are the things that we discuss and teach on, and I help individuals work through. So if you have not yet set up a one-on-one with me, I would love to get with you. So feel free to contact me anytime. And I thank you guys for joining me. And don't forget, if you're coming on late, let me know what city, state, or country that you're watching me for, and hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Have an amazing evening. Bye.